We will proceed further, but before I go to the next topic in this sequence, but I just want to talk about something slightly away from this. We discussed Fourier transform in one domain, right? There is no reason why I can't talk about a Fourier transform in multiple domains. Because I only talked about f of t. Electrical engineers and many engineers are very happy with this f of t because t can only be one direction. But there are other possibilities that this f can be a function of space x and y, and I can also define a Fourier transform on this in terms of space. As a definition, I can define f of omega x, f of omega y as equal to 1 by twice pi square integral double integral f of x y e to the power of minus j omega xx into e to the power of minus j omega yy dxt. This is a two-dimensional Fourier transform. And similarly, I can define a Fourier transform any number of dimensions. So, whenever there is a field, for example, electric field or optical field or this thing, this depends upon the space coordinate, right, x and y. It varies from point to point. So, in general, it is a function of x, y, z. So, the three variables, and the three variable function also can be Fourier transformed to three frequency functions. And these frequencies are now related to space, length. So, this relation will be inverse of length. So, the unit for this is defined as lines per millimeter. So omega x has lines per millimeter as the unit. Just like there we have hertz, here we have lines per millimeter. So, I similarly define for any other coordinate x and y, this is space here, but something else can be some other parameters. So, I can always take a Fourier transform on that and define a multi-dimensional Fourier transform. This particular one became a very important one in optics, because in optics the fields are, for example, if you have a plane like this, the optical field on this plane depends upon the point to point x and y. So, there is a theorem which says that if you know the optical field on one plane, I can calculate the optical field on any plane at a distance z from here, right? You must have read in optics. No? Yeah, so you learn about it, that if you know the electric optical field on this plane, I can give you the field at any point in the space. It is a very fundamental relation. A lot of names are associated with it. And the beauty of that is it has been recognized, unfortunately, again as late as 1960, that the field, if you put out, you have a point source here, which will put out spherical wavefront. As you go long distance, the wavefront becomes a plane. And if I know the wavefront here, values at every point here, I can find the values of any wavefront at any other point. Right? And they found that if I know here the f of x y, the field at any point here, reasonably large distance, turns out to be Fourier transform of this. Okay? So, the light that is reflected from your face, what I am seeing here at a distance is the Fourier transform of the light on your phase distribution. I don't see you, I see your Fourier transform. And from the Fourier transform, I interpret your face mentally. Anyway, this is what they call a Fourier optics. This recognition that this is a Fourier transform has happened only in 1960. And one this is a very old theory. There is nothing bad back I had back in 1800s. But the recognition of the Fourier transform relation observation, now the equation is nothing but a Fourier transform. The credit goes to Marichal in France, and he was the one who recognized that this is a Fourier transform. So people said, now I can now talk about the fields here by taking Fourier transform on this. And this has led to applications of holography in many fields. Someday you will, if you are interested, you learn about it. But what I am saying is a new subject called Fourier optics developed from this. Classically, optics used to be looked at as a geometrical optics, a lens, and they see how the wave, how the field is propagated through a lens. And now the whole lens can be used as a black box with input-output transfer function, and I can use the Fourier transform relationships as a linear system, except as a two-dimensional system. And so the whole optics now can be looked at as a two-dimensional Fourier optics. So a new subject developed called the Fourier optics, and it's just from the simple observation which happened only in 1960, although the equation for this has been written down long ago by Kirchhoff, Huygens, all these big names, Rayleigh, all these people have written the original equation, and if you observe that equation, you will now find out that there is nothing but a Fourier transform. But somebody to recognize the Fourier transform took such a long time, and once it is recognized, the optics went in the hands of the electrical engineers. Because linear system is our field, and we all know about linear systems. So they became now a two-dimensional linear system rather than a one-dimensional linear system. So electrical engineering took over optics, and Fourier optics became now electrical engineers' domain. And then they used all kinds of electrical engineering principles on this optics and brought out new ways of using optical elements for doing processing two-dimensional signals. Again, now a photograph is a two-dimensional signal, right? An image is a two-dimensional signal. Now I want to clean up the signal. Noise I want to remove, or I want to accentuate edges. I want to clean up the signal in terms of some disturbances. So I can do all electrical engineering techniques of improving the signal. And so I put a right filter, two-dimensional filter. So I put a two-dimensional filter. So it went into electrical engineers' hands, and we contributed so much to optics. So optics got enriched because of this marriage between the electrical engineers and physicists, optics people, and then it became a Fourier optics, a very powerful subject. Anyway, I don't have time to excite you on that.